Good evening and welcome back to Ivrea in northern Italy. It is the International Canoe Federation World Cup 1. And we've already seen in action the semi-finals and the finals of the C1 men, the C1 women and the K1 men. We'll be in action tomorrow from 10 o'clock Central European time with the K1 women's and the C2 men's semi-finals and finals. But this evening we have the International Canoe Federation Canoe Slalom Cross, new event fully fledged into the World Cup programme for 2016. And we'll talk you through the process. Myself, Andy Maddock, will give you all the information as we go. The temperature really here in Ivrea has not really changed. It's nearly 17 degrees, a little bit overcast, but no wind, so that's good. But slightly different rules for the competition in slalom cross. So here we have a course of 6 downstream gates, 2 upstream gates, and there's also a section for rolling. I'll talk you through it as we go. But athletes basically race head-to-head in a straight knockout round. Head-to-head, and it is the top 2 from each heat that go through into the next round. So we're about to start Heat 1. We've already had a time trial to just determine the seeding in this competition. And we have 4 heats ready to take through to the semi-final. As you see, we're in bib number 1. It's Vit Brindis, then Tyler Westfall of the United States, Jeremias Schleifli of Switzerland. So it is straight head-to-head racing. 3 boats racing for only 2 spots in the next round. So I can tell you that isn't Vit Brindis. That is Vit Brindis in the black helmet, wearing the Hiko side of things. And that is Jeremias Schleifli of Switzerland wearing the blue bib, and Tyler Westfall in the green bib. So the athletes start off with a big drop into the river. 2 or 3 meters they have to fall, and away they go. Vit Brindis in the green boat makes a great start. Let me talk you through. So you have to go the correct side of the green gates. You have to do a roll between the white and the pink boys. Then you have a choice. There's 2 upstream gates. 1 here. You can either do the up left or the up right. And it's all about finishing in the top 2. So Vit Brindis of the Czech Republic taking a strong lead in this heat. He still has a few gates to go. But Vit Brindis now cruising through the finish, and he takes the honours in first place. And in second place, wearing the blue bib, is Jeremias Schleifli of Switzerland. Both of those 2 athletes through to the semi-finals. Eliminated at this stage, it's Tyler Westfall of the United States of America in the green bib. So the Czech Republic's Vit Brindis, look, in the green boat, gets a great start. A little bit of a clash there with the USA athlete Tyler Westfall, but Vit Brindis very much in charge of this run all the way down. In fact, it was Vit Brindis in the start, in the time trial section, just for the seeding, that set the fastest start time. So no surprise that Vit Brindis of the Czech Republic qualifies through. And the significance of the time trials is that that time helps them to be seeded, and they get the choice of which colour bib, which part of the ramp, which ramp they line up on for the start, which can be significant. So just to talk you through the rules a little bit more, then clearly you've got the upstream gate that you have to do. It's a choice of left and right. You must do one of the upstream gates. 6 downstream gates that you have to do, but there's no penalty for touching the gates. You just have to correctly negotiate the positions. But let's turn our attention to the second heat of 4. This is the quarter-finals, and here we have Pierre Bourliot of France lined up against Vavrenek Radulek of the Czech Republic. and Antoine Launay of Portugal, and then Sebastian Schubert of Germany. Some big names in this heat. The second heat of the slalom cross here at the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup. The athletes getting themselves well positioned here. Ivrea Hradilek in the green bib. I would have said that he would be quite a strong favourite. He certainly likes his creek boating. In fact, I was trying to get him in the commentary box for tomorrow. But he's out creeking in the Alps tomorrow. That's his plan. Bit of a jostle there for position. And Ivrea Hradilek leads the way there and has a clear advantage early on in this competition. In the yellow bib, it is Germany's Sebastian Schubert, but it looks like at the moment in the black boat and the red bib. So we have Ivrea Hradilek, who surely is going to take the honours and through to the semi-finals. And in second place, we have the black boat of Pierre Beaulieu of France. Those two through to the semi-finals. Sebastian Schubert of Germany, who was lying in second place for so long, he got eliminated there, as well as Antoine Launay of Portugal in fourth place. So Schubert and Launay are eliminated at this stage. There we see Ivrea Hradilek, the winner of the heat, comfortably through into the semi-final alongside Pierre Beaulieu. Well, Pierre Beaulieu has a great start, but then there's a little bit of a tussle between him and Ivrea Hradilek. Hradilek takes charge through the roll section and into the upstream. Remember, they only have to do one of the upstreams. It's a choice. And a bit of tactics go on there. Sometimes you have to wait if there's too many of you in there at the same time, so maybe a late decision required. So at the moment, halfway through the quarterfinals, Vit Prindis of the Czech Republic, Jeremiah Schläfli of Switzerland are through. And then in Heat 2, Ivrea Hradilek of the Czech Republic, Pierre Beaulieu of France. There are qualifiers into the semi-finals. Two more heats in the men's quarter-finals here at the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup Slalom Cross. And of course, don't forget to join us tomorrow for the K1 Women's semi-finals and C2 Men's semi-finals. They're live at 10 o'clock Central European time. So here's the lineup for Heat 3 of the men's slalom cross. Jackson Merritt of Australia, Jerome Martin of Switzerland, Martin Halsen of Slovakia, and Fredrik Valen of Sweden. There's Martin Halsen in the green boat, and looking very confident indeed. Was a finalist in the final, the men's kayak final earlier on today. Next up in shot, Jerome Martin of Switzerland, and they're away. So 3 boats on the course, and early on it looks like Martin Halsen is in trouble. He has been bounced out of the first gate, so very much it is Martin Halsen needing to play catch up. So as we watch the remaining competitors on course doing the upstream gate, then Jerome Martin of Switzerland is leading the way ahead of Jackson Merritt of Australia in the white boat. So coming through towards the finish line, we'll get confirmation of the results. So into first place. Remember, the top 2 go on to the second round. And one thing's for sure, Martin Halsen of Slovakia eliminated at this stage. So Jerome Martin takes the win ahead of Jackson Merritt. I'm not sure that that is necessarily correct, a caption on the screen, but Jerome Martin ahead of Jackson Merritt, and it is Martin Halsen of Slovakia who is eliminated from the competition. One more heat to go, but here's a replay, and we see Martin Halsen get pushed very wide, and then ultimately misses that first downstream, has to go back for it. And after that, it was a bit of a procession. Jerome Martin and Jackson Merritt through to the next round. So the gates there, still ready for tomorrow's competition as we look at the final heat in the quarterfinals of the ICF Canoe Slalom Cross. And we have Paul Bockelmann of Germany against Richard Powell of the United States. Again, just need to confirm who is racing, but we're away, and it's a slow start. Is that a tactical start? Well, it's carnage here, and already we have one of our athletes working hard to get back. So is this a procession? Well, the roll gate's completed, and both our top two boats trying to race it hard. Just looking to see who is where in this competition. Well, coming up towards the finish line in the red bib, it's a clear victory there in Heat 4. And just waiting for confirmation. It's hard to see who is in each of the boats. So the first two are quite clearly through. Richard Powell of the United States of America is the winner. Alexis Perez of Venezuela is in second place, and Paul Bockelmann of Germany disqualified. I suspect that is because he didn't complete the roll. So that completes the men's slalom cross quarterfinals, and through to the next round it is Vit Prindis of the Czech Republic, Jeremiah Schlefli of Switzerland, Vavra Hradlek and Pierre Bourlio. Then it's Switzerland's Jerome Martin and Jackson Merritt of Australia. And then just now we see Richard Powell of the United States and Alexis Perez of Venezuela. They are also through. So that's through to the semi-finals, and that's where we really get sharp. Here, carnage at the start. No one quite able to take charge, but then soon the field split. Richard Powell led the way. But of course, Paul Bockelmann disqualified because he is unable to do his role. So disqualified. There's Paul Bockelmann in the red bib, the green boat, not able to go through because he's disqualified. So here's a confirmation of the results of the quarterfinals of the slalom cross, and you can see the qualifiers. They go through into the next round, those semi-finals, 2 heats, and that will give us the finalists of the slalom cross. So still to come, we will be underway with the women's kayak semi-final. That gets underway very shortly. Hopefully now you've picked up the rules of slalom cross. Pretty simple, no penalties, but if you don't do the rules, so if you miss out the roll gate or if there's too much contact, then you face disqualification. So whilst we get our breath back, then don't forget you can follow all the action throughout the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup Series. 5 races over the course of the next couple of months, a busy season of racing. And follow it all live, either through the ICF website, canoeicf.com. You can interact on Twitter, hashtag ICF Slalom. And of course, follow us on social media at Planet Canoe. But we're not done yet. Then we still have lots of thrills and spills in the slalom cross as we wait just to get underway with the women's kayak semi-finals of the slalom cross. So the women's kayak athletes have already done the time trial. That has created the seeding for the competition. Just 2 heats in the semi-final, naturally, and 2 heats of 3 boats. and that will determine who goes through into the slalom cross final here in the scenic town of Ivrea in northern Italy. ICF are pleased to be back in Italy with a big event. First time for canoe slalom in Italy since 2004. Last time the World Cup came to Merano, not far from here, again in the Alps and northern part of Italy, and natural rivers being the dominant part of the Italian Federation. So there's a bit of atmosphere as we just get ourselves ready. Unfortunately, it's just started raining here, but not really dampening the spirits of the crowd. Of course, the crowd saw a gold and silver for Italy, and that went down very well with the local crowd in the men's kayak event, that final earlier on today. And that was, of course, Giovanni De Gennaro taking gold for Italy, followed by the Olympic champion silver. Dariusz Popiela of Poland taking the bronze medal in that event. And make sure you set your alarm clock, you get yourself lined up, whether that's through the website or through social media, to watch the live semi-finals and finals tomorrow at Planet Canoe or canoeicf.com. 10 o'clock Central European time is when it all starts off. The top qualifiers from the heats are in those semi-finals, and also the finals will be at 1 o'clock Central European time. That's again tomorrow, so make sure you get that into your schedule. So we'll be underway with the women's kayak semi-final in 3 minutes time. There we see Jessica Fox watching the action. Jessica Fox producing a storming victory. Very tight racing in the C1 women's. Less than a second separated the three medalists. Jessica Fox took the gold for Australia. Mallory Franklin took the silver for Great Britain. And Kimberly Woods took the bronze for Great Britain. And certainly a team effort by all concerned here at the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup. It's the first of the World Cup series here in Italy. We then move on to La Seu d'Urgell in northern Spain. That takes place next weekend before going to Pau in southern France, hopping across the Pyrenees in 2 weekends' time. Then there's a little bit of a break for the Junior Under 23 World Championships, the Olympic Games, and then we come back to Prague in August and finish the World Cup final in Slovenia, in Tarzen, in early September. But here is the semi-final start list for the women's kayak slalom cross. So we have 2 heats of 3 boats. The rules are the same. It's the top 2 athletes in each of the heats that will progress through to the final here at Ivrea. Backdrop here, a very traditional Italian city, and the proximity of the city has certainly brought the crowds out. So in the blue bib we see Kate Eckhart of Australia. Then in the red bib it's Martina Wegman of the Netherlands. And then our final competitor, Georgia. Oh, just the 2 competitors. I was under the impression there was going to be 3. Well, both athletes are going to be through to the final. Not sure if we're going to get a boat in. We have our 3rd competitor just ready to go. From Australia, another competitor, Georgia Rankin of Australia. Nothing like leaving it late to get on the start line. So the rules are the same. After the plunge into the river Baltea Dora here in Ivrea, it's through the downstream gate. Must roll between the two boys, and then one of the upstream gates must be completed. So let's see where we go. Rankin in the green, Eckhart in the blue, and Wegman in the red. We're poised to start. And away we go. And it's position off the start. Ah, but she's missed the first gate. So Eckhart and then Rankin get away well. Eckhart takes the roll nicely. So it is Eckhart leading the way. A bit low into the upstream. Can Georgia Rankin snatch it? Well, it is Kate Eckhart leading the way now. And surely it's a procession here. Australia against Australia. And Martina Wegman of the Netherlands, after a great start, but just getting rejected on the first downstream gate, gets eliminated at this stage of the competition. So, Kate Eckhart of Australia, Georgia Rankin of Australia goes through in second place, and Martina Wegman of the Netherlands is eliminated at this stage. That's the first of the heats in the semi-final. One more to go, and we'll know the lineup for the final. So confirmation there. Kate Eckhart of Australia ahead of Georgia Rankin of Australia. It's an Australia 1-2, but here let's watch Martina Wegman. She gets a great start and certainly gets a better start than Kate Eckhart in the blue bib. But ultimately, Martina Wegman paying the price for not making it inside for the first run. So we're into heat 2 of this, the women's kayak semi-finals, and we have Ada Novak of Slovenia, Amelie Hilgertova of the Czech Republic, and Monika Jankova of the Czech Republic. They're poised to launch into the... Oh, is that a false start? There's been a confusion on the start, and we shall see. A false start may result in a disqualification, but certainly leading the way in the red boat. There's no doubt who's leading. Wearing the red bib. I'm just trying to determine which of our competitors that is, but it's certainly the red bib ahead of our green bib. But I think it was the green bib that potentially had the false start. So let's see what we get from the results. And it is Ida Novak of Slovenia who qualifies first. And then Amelie Hilgertova qualifies in second place. And yes, confirmation there. Monika Jankova is disqualified for the false start for the Czech Republic. So there's the result. Ida Novak of Slovenia goes through with Amelie Hilgertova of the Czech Republic. There's the false start. Monika Jankova in the white boat, the blue bib for the Czech Republic, disqualified for a false start. So through goes Ida Novak. So we'll see the 4 finalists in the women's kayak slalom cross. It is Kate Eckhart of Australia alongside Georgia. They'll line up with Ida Novak of Slovenia and Amelie Hilgertova of the Czech Republic. So there's confirmation of the results here at the International Canoe Federation Canoe Slalom World Cup. It's race 1 of the 2016 World Cup Series, and we're here doing the slalom cross as we complete the second day of competition, the first day of finals, and still semi-finals and finals of the women's kayak at C2 tomorrow. But next up, we are into the men's kayak semi-finals. As we just take a little bit of a review of the action so far. So we'll be underway with the men's kayak semi-finals in around about 6 minutes time. Yeah, the rain now falling here in Ivrea. The weather hasn't been great this week. A little bit overcast. In fact, it's probably only this afternoon is the first time that we've really seen the beautiful view in the distance of the foothills of the Alps. The cloud has lifted enough for us to see that. Up until then, unless you knew where you were, you wouldn't know there were mountains nearby. But I think that's been reflected across Europe in the last week. A lot of rain. Some areas of Europe really affected by flooding. And, no problems here from a flooding perspective, but certainly the weather is not what we'd expect. So as I say, next up will be the men's kayak semi-finals. So 2 heats. They're the fastest qualifiers from the quarter-finals. When I say fastest, it's a straight elimination. Top 2 from each heat go through to the semi-finals. And here we have Ivrea, Czech Republic, Vit Prindis in a red bib. And then Pierre Bourriot in the green bib. So in the yellow bib, it's Jeremiah Schleffli of Switzerland. So this is going to be a competitive round here. Here's the lineup. So Vit Prindis of the Czech Republic. Remember, he was the fastest in the time trial at the start, and that gives him the option to choose which lane, which colour he wants to be. He's chosen red. Then Pierre Bourriot wearing the green bib for France. Czech Republic's Ivrea, he wears the blue bib, but Jeremiah Schleffli of Switzerland is wearing the yellow bib. So just focusing up now. Ivrea in the blue bib for the Czech Republic. As I was saying earlier, I was trying to get him in the commentary box. He's always good to have around tomorrow, but he's off creaking in the Alps. And Vit Prindis of the Czech Republic in the black helmet wearing the red bib. And yeah, these 2 training partners for the Czech Republic, but I'm sure there'll be no love lost once they launch themselves off the start. And last but not least, Pierre Bourriot of France in the green bib. So they might look relaxed, but they'll be giving it their all in this event. So remember, only 2 boats, the top 2 boats, will go through into the final. This ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup 1, and it is the slalom cross semi-final. 2 heats. This is the first of 2 who will make it through into the final. Same rules, so it's all about making sure that you get yourself right on the edge of that tipping point on the ramp, because a good start is very valuable in this event. You see the umbrellas are out, the rain is falling, but it's certainly not dampening the spirits of the competitors. So if you're just watching this, remember, no penalties, but disqualification for breaches of the rules, and examples of that would be forgetting to do the roll, or a false start, or missing one of the gates. And it looks like we have a false start. Not sure what happened there, but Ivrea of the Czech Republic has false started. Oh, he's back in, so he obviously wasn't even on starter's orders. Oh, he lives to survive another day, and not eliminated. Will that affect his concentration? Well, I doubt it. I think he's really in his element in this slalom cross event. So, from left to right, it's Schäffli of Switzerland, Hradlek of the Czech Republic, Prindis of the Czech Republic, and Beaulieu of France. And that is our lineup, the first in this, of 2 heats in the semi-final. 4 boats, only 2 places in the final. We're ready for the off. And we're away. And Pierre Beaulieu of France gets a good launch, but it is Vit Brindis in the red bib taking the lead. Well, Hradlek of the Czech Republic, did he do the downstream correctly? Well, we'll wait and see. But it's Czech Republic versus Czech Republic. Pierre Beaulieu in the black boat is in 3rd place at the moment, but Vit Brindis in the red bib is surely cruising away to victory and a place in the final. In 2nd place, it's Ivrea Hradlek of the Czech Republic. Still need to check whether he got disqualified. Not sure if he completed the downstream gate correctly. And out of shot, we'll see whether it is confirmation there. Pierre Beaulieu of France comes in 3rd place. So provisionally, Vit Brindis of the Czech Republic is ahead of Ivrea Hradlek. Both of those qualified have obviously negotiated the course correctly. And it is Pierre Beaulieu of France finishes ahead of Jeremiah Schäffli of Switzerland. So Czech Republic, they're dominant, and 2 representatives through to the ICF Canoe Slalom Cross final. That'll be up next. So a busy period for these athletes. And you can see Vit Brindis looking very confident indeed. And here we see the start. Pierre Beaulieu in the black boat gets a great start, but it's Vit Brindis who actually delivers it, running straight over Beaulieu's boat, and nothing stopped him after that. Hradlek comes through in 2nd place. Here we see it. That was what I was questioning, but it looks quite clear that Hradlek has completed the course successfully. And there in the yellow bib, Jeremiah Schäffli, gracious as he finishes in 4th place and eliminated from this round, along with Pierre Beaulieu of France. So that's heat 1 complete. We know that Vit Brindis and Ivrea Hradlek of the Czech Republic will both be in the slalom cross final. That'll be up very shortly. Now, it's the 2nd of our semi-finals here at the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup. It's slalom cross semi-final time. Jackson Merritt from Australia, Jerome Martin of Switzerland, Richard Powell of the USA, and Alexis Perez of Venezuela. Athletes looking very relaxed on the start line. So they are under starters' orders, poised to launch into the river, and it's a good start. And in the green boat, very good start, comfortably away. Looks like Jackson Merritt of Australia in 3rd place at the moment, really got pushed out of contention in that first downstream gate. But has Jackson Merritt taken the good option by just taking the upstream on his own? Bit of a battle going on at the top. Now the official rules say, no, it's not a contact event. Well, there's certainly contact there. It's up to the judges to disqualify if necessary. I don't think anything merits that, but we just wait here as Jerome Martin of Switzerland qualifies in 1st, ahead of Richard Powell of the United States. Jackson Merritt in the red bib comes in 3rd, and Alexis Perez in the yellow bib of Venezuela comes in 4th place. But it is Jerome Martin of Switzerland who is through to the final alongside Richard Powell. There's confirmation for the United States. Richard Powell through and eliminated at this stage. It's Jackson Merritt of Australia and Alexis Perez of Venezuela. Here we see the start Strong start there from Jérôme Martin of Switzerland. Never really looked back. A little bit of a tussle all the way down. And Richard Powell of the US keeping into second place. So it's two Czech Republic representatives, Swiss and USA. That will be the final lineup here at the Canoe Slalom World Cup here in the beautiful city of Ivrea in northern Italy. There's confirmation of the results in the semi-final. Vit Brindis, Ivrea Radlek of the Czech Republic through to the final. And Jérôme Martin and Richard Powell of Switzerland and the USA respectively also through. All the others eliminated, and we'll see that final in action in around about 10 minutes time. So not a lot of rest for these athletes, and we just take a break before we get into the women's slalom cross final. Here's a bird's eye view from our drone camera of the top section of this great Ivrea course. Been a bit of work done over the winter 2015 to 2016 just to modify the river, make it a little bit more technical, make it a little bit more consistent, and certainly the athletes really giving it the seal of approval, really voting. And there, a great shot from our drone cam. You can see the mountains in the background. We're right in the heart of this city, and the big river, the Dora Baltea, that flows through the centre of Ivrea. We're 253 meters above sea level, and Ivrea, population of 23,000. Certainly welcoming the International Canoe Federation to the city. We've been very warmly welcomed throughout the week, and really well supported, particularly that Italy 1-2 in the men's kayak this afternoon made for a big reception. I was going to be joined in the commentary box by the silver medalist from today, the Olympic champion Daniele Momenti. I'd arranged for him to come and help us through the slalom cross, but on the basis of his medal, he's been whisked off to Sky, and he's talking with them this evening in their studios in Milan. So here is the lineup for the final. Ida Novak of Slovenia, Amelie Hilgertova of the Czech Republic, Georgia Rankin of Australia, and Kate Eckhart of Australia. That's the lineup for the women's kayak slalom cross final here at the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup. It's the first World Cup of the 2016 season. Of course, it's Olympic year, and there we see it. Well, actually, to be fair, this is the small final we're watching now. So Martina Wegman of the Netherlands and Monika Jankova of the Czech Republic. So effectively this is the B final we're watching. Then we'll be on to the main event. Both of these competitors eliminated in the semi-final, and we'll just see who manages to get that runner-up spot. Maybe it's all been a little bit too much today. Improvising with a bin bag, just the rain here, not ideal, but doesn't seem to be dampening the spirits of the many spectators that we have here on the banks of in Ivrea. One of the many volunteers helping to deliver this great event from the Federation International Canoe Kayak of, Federation Italian Canoe Kayak, of course, on behalf of the International Canoe Federation. Great to be back, bring canoe slalom back to Italy with the ICF. It's 12 years since the last Canoe Slalom World Cup took place in Italy, the last one being in 2004 in Merano, that famous venue on the circuit, and a host of I think 2 World Championships in years gone by. Italy also has hosted more recently the canoe sprint event and other ICF canoeing disciplines. So you get a good perspective here of the course. See the crowds lined up alongside the course, and our athletes just sitting, preparing for this, the B final of the slalom cross event here at the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup 1. Martina Wegman of the Netherlands there in the red bib. Monika Jankova of the Czech Republic in the green bib, and they're battling it out essentially for 5th place in this competition. And they are just starting to get ready. Now, we've seen all sorts of different techniques for starting. It seems the most important thing is to find the balance point on your boat, ready for a quick start. But as we saw with the men's kayak semi-finals, Ivrea Radilek trying to get that balance point, ended up in the river early, had to get back out, reposition himself, and in the end he's still in the competition. He came in 2nd place in that semi-final, qualified through into the final, and we're away. And a great start there for Martina Wegman of the Netherlands, but she eddies out. But equally, Jankova of the Czech Republic unable to capitalize on that, so it's still Wegman of the Netherlands ahead, and Jankova of the Czech Republic in 2nd place. But Jankova, has she managed to get in and out of the upstream ahead? Well, she had the opportunity, but didn't manage to capitalize on it, and it is Martina Wegman of the Netherlands who surely, barring any catastrophes, will make it through. Well, when I say make it through, will take the honours in this B final, but she's headed out at the end. Are we going to see a straight finish? No big tussle there, and it is Martina Wegman who takes it from start to finish, the B final of this slalom cross competition, and sets up the main event, the final of the women's kayak slalom competition. So their confirmation, Martina Wegman of the Netherlands takes the B final, the small final, ahead of Monika Jankova of the Czech Republic, as we prepare for the final of the women's kayak slalom cross event here at the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup. We're in Ivrea in northern Italy, and of course don't forget to join us tomorrow morning 10 o'clock Central European time for the semi-finals of the K1 women and the C2 men. But here we are, the start list for the kayak slalom cross finals. Ida Novak of Slovenia, Emily Hilgertova of the Czech Republic, Georgia Rankin of Australia, and Kate Eckhart of Australia. There are 4 competitors fighting out for the title of the slalom cross champion in the first World Cup. So here we have in the blue bib Georgia Rankin of Australia. Next up for the Czech Republic, Amelie Hilgertova in the green bib, and then Ida Novak of Slovenia in the red bib, and finally, last but not least, Kate Eckhart of Australia in the yellow bib. So this is the final of the women's kayak slalom cross, and they almost land together, but Rankin and Eckhart, Australia, are in trouble. But that said, the green bib of Amelie Hilgertova is also in trouble for the first downstream gate. So it is Ida Novak of Slovenia who gets a great start and takes the early advantage in this slalom cross final. Now in the blue bib, it is Georgia Rankin after problems at the start. Has she done enough? Well, it looks like compatriot from Australia, Kate Eckhart, is now second in the yellow bib, but it's a storming lead now that the red bib of Ida Novak of Slovenia is away surely to take the title. Ida Novak of Slovenia takes the win here in the final of the slalom cross. And is it going to be Kate Eckhart of Australia who takes second? Well, waiting for confirmation of that. It was a close battle there for second with Amalie Hilgertova of the Czech Republic. But it would certainly appear that our victor in the slalom cross women's kayak event here at the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup 1 is the boat of Ida Novak of Slovenia, wearing the red bib. There we have it, confirmation. Slovenia take the honours. Ida Novak in the red bib. Red boat, red bib, white helmet there. Kate Eckhart of Australia in the yellow bib and the white boat in second place. Here we see all the women landed pretty much together, but after a good start, it was Amalie Hilgertova who got pushed out of the running, and a big battle for second place, but all the way through the race it was Ida Novak of Slovenia took it from the start. And there we see celebrating the victory. So Slovenia take the honours here in the first of the finals in the slalom cross. Confirmation of the results. Ida Novak of Slovenia is the ICF Canoe Slalom Kayak Cross champion of the first World Cup. That goes to Slovenia ahead of Australia and then the Czech Republic. So one more event to go this evening, and it is the men's final of the kayak cross, the slalom cross, but we are going to have a B final and then we will lead into an A final. So there's some of the crowd. They've had a long day here watching some exciting action on first of the finals days here at the Ivrea World Cup, and still another day of finals to go tomorrow. Semi-finals in the morning, 10 o'clock Central European time. Make sure you get yourself near a computer or get yourself online. You can follow it canoeicf.com through a website, through social media at Planet Canoe, and of course you can engage through the hashtag ICF Slalom if you want to comment. And that's not only this weekend, but also for the next couple of weekends we'll be in action. We move across to the Pyrenees, the Spanish side of the Pyrenees, to La Seu d'Urgell in Spain. That race gets underway Friday with the heats, and then Saturday, Sunday finals. You can follow all that through the canoeicf.com website or at Planet Canoe. And then the following weekend we just jump across the Pyrenees to the French side, and we go to Pau, and of course Pau will be hosting the 2017 ICF Canoe Slalom World Championships. So it's essentially a test event for those championships, and that's the World Cup 3. Then we take a break. The junior and under 23 ICF Canoe Slalom World Championships will take place in the middle of July. They take place in Krakow in Poland. Then, of course, one of the main events of the 2016 season, the Olympic Games. Canoe Slalom making its 8th appearance in the Olympic program. And that takes place on the 7th to the 11th of August 2016. And we will see 4 newly crowned Olympic champions. So for various reasons, whether it be retirement or actually failure to qualify into national Olympic teams, then none of the defending champions will be in Rio de Janeiro on that fantastic course. And excitement as we will have 4 new Olympic champions crowned at those Rio 2016 Olympic Games. Then, after the highlights of the Olympic Games, we still have 2 World Cups to go. First of those will be World Cup 4 in Prague in the Czech Republic. And finally, the World Cup final, race 5, takes place in Slovenia, just outside Ljubljana. And that will be a double points race, and those could be quite significant, those double points races. So first of all, we have the B final will be up next in the men's kayak slalom cross. Here we go. Here's the start list. So we've got a B final. That's the sport final on the start list there. And then we'll go into the A final, where we will see the Czech Republic, Switzerland and the USA in action. But first of all, it'll be Jackson Merritt of Australia, Pierre Beaulieu of France, and then Jeremiah Schleffli of Switzerland, and Alexis Perez of Venezuela. There he is. There's Alexis Perez of Venezuela wearing the yellow bib, acknowledging there the crowd. Looks a little nervous there at the top of the course. So yellow bib is Perez of Venezuela. Then it is Jeremiah Schleffli of Switzerland. So he's wearing the blue bib. Next up, Jackson Merritt of Australia in the red bib. And he's been consistently strong through this competition. And Pierre Beaulieu of France in the green bib. Pierre Beaulieu was the one of the faster boats in the heats, but didn't manage to get through onto the podium today in the men's kayak event. But here we go, the B final of the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup. It's slalom cross time, and they're away. And it's a good start for Beaulieu, and there's a battle going on, and that's leading to, both the first 2 competitors rejected. Jackson Merritt in the red bib takes full advantage of that for Australia, and equally there Alexis Perez in the yellow bib is also in second place. But this is the B final. It's all about positions now, and it looks like Jackson Merritt of Australia is absolutely capitalising on that. He storms away to victory in this, the small final, the B final of the International Canoe Federation Slalom Cross Championship. It's the World Cup first race of the season, and we saw Pierre Beaulieu in the green bib and Jeremiah Schleffli in the blue bib. They got a great start, but both got washed away and missed that first gate, had to go back for it. And it's Jackson Merritt of Australia wearing the red bib who takes the honours in the B final. Great to see, good spirit of competition here in this event. And so Jackson Merritt will finish in 5th place, Alexis Perez in 6th place, Jeremiah Schleffli of Switzerland in 7th place, and Pierre Beaulieu of France in 8th place. That's the B final. So we're building up now to the big event of the day. We've already seen the women's final. That's where we saw Ida Novak of Slovenia take the honours in the women's final. Now there's confirmation of the order of the small final, the B final. Jackson Merritt of Australia taking the honours and the positions there accordingly. But now we are into the A final. This is the one that counts. Who's going to take the honours in the first ICF Canoe Slalom Cross World Cup race of 2016? So from left to right, Richard Powell in the black helmet, the yellow bib. Then next up it is Jérôme Martin of Switzerland in the blue bib. Then we have Vit Prindis in the red bib for the Czech Republic, smiling away, and he's certainly been a strong contender. And also for the Czech Republic in the green bib we have Ivrea and they're away, and it's the Czech Republic getting themselves into a good position, and Vit Prindis in the red bib is leading the way ahead of Ivrea. So Prindis already has his roll complete, so the Czech Republic go into the right hand upstream, the others into the left hand upstream. It's supposed to be non-contact, but it's Hradilek has taken the lead. Is Vit Prindis going to come back? It would appear not. It looks like Hradilek, with a decisive move after the upstream gate, is going to take the honours here in the slalom cross final. He crosses the line for the Czech Republic. So Hradilek takes the win ahead of compatriot Vit Prindis in the red bib, black helmet. So Czech Republic 1-2, and then it is, there we go, Richard Powell of the USA in third place, and last but not least Jérôme Martin of Switzerland in fourth place. There's Richard Powell wearing the yellow bib. Bit of a tussle, let's watch it. So it was the Czech Republic, both boats there leading the way. Richard Powell got a little bit left behind on the start, and so Vit Prindis took the early lead, rolled ahead of compatriot. But here is the decisive moment. Hradilek out of the upstream takes advantage of Vit Prindis dropping low, and then there he goes, celebrating the victory. Hradilek takes the honours here in the men's kayak ICF Canoe Slalom cross event. It's World Cup 1, and we've seen there Ida Novak of Slovenia has taken the women's kayak slalom cross title here in World Cup 1. And then for the Czech Republic, Hradilek snatches it from his compatriot Vit Prindis in the men's kayak slalom cross final. Lots to look forward to. Don't forget to join us tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock Central European time, where we will have the semi-finals live from Ivrea in northern Italy. It's semi-final time for the women's kayak and the C2 men. Don't miss that at Planet Canoe or the canoeicf.com. And then also we'll have live action from the finals later on, 1 o'clock Central European time, those finals of the women's kayak and the C2 men. So for now, it's goodbye, and Ida Novak of Slovenia taking the honours in the slalom cross for the women, and in the men's, it is Hradilek of the Czech Republic.
E con questa finale si chiude ufficialmente la seconda giornata di gare in questa Coppa del Mondo. Adesso le premiazioni dello Slalom Cross e stasera vi aspetteremo tutti alla festa.